Alright, here's a little video to address a question that came up into the forums about how you make a top-down racetrack or racing type game. I threw together a little demo. It's very basic, and we'll take a quick look at it, and we'll take apart the components and see what it's actually doing. See, we have a ball representing a race car, and it's moving around the track. When it hits the inside or outside edge of the track, it bounces back in and basically stays on the track. Let's go ahead and close that and take a look at what we did to actually make that happen. I've got my object tree open, and so we have a background, which is a quick little racetrack I did in Photoshop. We have the car, which I'm representing by a little red ball. And then I'm going to skip these rails for a minute and then go to the inner track. Inner track is a scene object, just a blank scene object that I've defined a collision polygon for. And I've only defined a collision polygon for the inside of the track. I wound up having to do something a little different from the outsides of the track because you can't have a concave collision polygon. And there's a little bit of hint of what's going on right here because it's showing some objects that I currently have turned off. Okay, so we already see that the middle piece is an invisible scene object that just has a collision polygon. That's what's the car or the ball are interacting with. For the outside, I have two different things going on. One, I'm using the world limits of the ball itself to define the outside, the very outside edges of the racetrack. Now, obviously, this is only going to work with a simple oval track, but the principles here can be applied, and you have to start from somewhere. And I like to start small. Let's go back to the project and take a look at these rail objects. Right now, they're invisible, or the entire layer is invisible. So let me go ahead and turn that layer back on. And you can see that I have 4 rectangular shapes. These are basically the overlaps that the world limit for the ball doesn't capture. So if I turn that world limit on, you can see that I've got a limit down here. It's not perfect, but it's close. Alright, the second part of this question was how can I make the car stay in the middle of the screen and the rest of the track go around it? For that, we're going to have to open up some scripting. So let's go ahead and open up our game.cs file, and I'm going to open it up with a program called Wrangler, because I think another question had come up, how do I get IntelliSense or code highlighting and stuff like that. Honestly, the best way is with a PC with torsion installed. But it doesn't work quite so well on a Mac. I haven't been able to get it to work with line or parallels or anything really well, so I have a PC sitting right next to me when I'm on my Mac. But in a pinch, I'll use Wrangler. Because Wrangler at least will highlight some of your syntax. You see function and if, and the strings are all highlighted, and that makes a difference when you're coding. Alright, I've kind of cheated and already did this on my PC to figure out how it was going to work, but to get the effect that you're looking for, basically you want to mount the camera to the object. Now we're going to mount the camera to our car. We're going to give it as no offset so that the camera is exactly in the middle of the car. We're going to mount it with a force of 20, which means it should be very rigid. And this last parameter, I forget what it was, but the documentation is out there, so if you're interested in it, go ahead and take a look. And the way we mount our camera, that we tell our scene window 2D to mount to a particular object. And in this case, it's going to be the car. So let's go ahead and save this. Go back into Torque Builder, Torque Game Builder, hit play button. And now we see that the car is staying basically in the middle of the screen and the ball's going all the way around it.